31, 31. Church on Sunday, 31. Church on Sunday, 31, 31, 31, 30, 30, 31. 31. Church on anyone? 31? Anyone? 31? Oops. Just joking. Church on Sundays, 31, you know, and so I come up to do this video. Well, actually, from the end of the last video, I mean, you know, I'm experiencing right now something that I thought a long time ago, and I know it's going to be expounded upon even different levels. The more I move forward, how what I'm doing right now is actually even going to all come together. And, you know, it's like all the pieces in the puzzle, they fit together. All the pieces in the puzzle, they fit together. And I just got off this last video, and I was thinking about it. I'm like, gosh, what am I going to talk about on the next one? What am I going to talk about on the next one? And I guess what comes to mind, here we go. I mean, you know, what am I going to talk about? And here it is. Zing, 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 zing. What am I going to talk about? You know, the experiences that I had with the direction, the spiritual voice and the direction. You know, because sometimes we get so lost out there in our lives and we don't know what to do, and we're indecisive and we don't know what decisions to make. And what do we, a lot of times what we do when we make those decisions, we go for the gratification or the easiest thing. Are you guilty? Yes, I bet you are. So am I. We don't, you know, always opt out for the easy way out, or the things that are going to satisfy us, or the things that are going to give us pleasure, you know, when we're indecisive, when we don't know what to do. Or a lot of times we don't do what we shouldn't but doing either, and that's not doing anything. I mean, indecisiveness is something that, you know, is also detrimental to, you see, indecisiveness. So, you know, having that guidance and the direction there, you know, it's like I said, I was going to sit down in this next video and I'm like, what am I even going to talk about? You know, but here it is. So I had this experience, and I'll bring this around some other time. But when I was learning how the Spirit speaks through me and how God speaks through me, and He uses me, and sometimes He uses me to say things to other people. God uses people to say things, and He uses people to say things to people to help them, because God wants to help you. But again, it's about all whether we're actually listening or not, you know. So one of the things in my spiritual growth, or part of the journey, was that how the Spirit speaks through me, and to have faith in that, not knowing what's going to come next. So I had two real poignant, my very first experience on this one is because I knew that I had an experience, and I think I told about this story. I used to own a packaging and shipping store. I'll go really fast. I used to own a packaging and shipping store, and there was this guy. His name was Eric. I don't know his last name, but he was a customer. He used to come in. He was going through a very difficult time in his life, and he came in. It was like kind of like after hours, and you know, and I locked the door. And, you know, we were sitting there talking and everything, because I don't know what it was. It was just turned into a situation where, you know, he just started talking to me, and it was towards the end of the day, and he came in right at closing, and you know, and I locked the front door so I could sit there and talk to him. And you know, he started talking to me, and I started talking to him, and it was like, and his stuff just started reeling out of my mouth. And you know, to make a long story short, there, you know, that conversation with him ended in probably about an hour with a very sincere, heartfelt shake from him and a thank you. And I'm like, you know, yeah, that's good, because I'm like, because after he left, and then I locked the door after he left, I'm like, oh my gosh, where did that all just come from? You know, so I had some experiences in I remember one time I had a lady who was going through a divorce with her husband at the time, and I had stuff coming out of my mouth that I'm telling you, man, I have not read books. Nothing, or any reference at any particular point. And I remember a long time that lady, her name was, I don't know, but it's been so long ago. I can picture her in my mind, and I can even picture her ex-husband at the time too, and what he used to do. But you know, she came in one time, and I started speaking to her, and I started saying things to her, and you know, and then I mean, it kind of makes me emotional just because she got emotional. Tears just started coming over her face, and she reached out and she hugged me and she said thank you, and it was like, and here I am like this, this guy, this thing, he's like, you're totally ignorant, but God uses people to say things. God speaks to you. God speaks through you. And, what can you do to be what could you be, anybody that's out there who's a believer, unbeliever, whatever, what could you do to yourself to know that you could be able to apply yourself in such a fashion, such a great fashion to help people? Because even though there's some people out there that are unbelievers, I know still as a basic human being and the spirit that is actually still within you, whether you want to recognize it or not, that you would like to help people, because the basic human instinct. There's a little bit of a basic human instinct that's in all people, and that's to want to help others. Okay, because really the line is in her life, and the line that's in our life, and one of the purposes is to be servants and to help others, right? We're to be servants, and we're to be servants to each other, and we're to help others. So if you can come in the realization that you got a lot of power in you, and you can be the help, when you can be help to others, when you can be volunteer, and to get that gratitude in return for helping other people, I think that's just one of the basic elements that we are as human and spirits on this planet, is to want to help other people. So having enough experiences on that level, being on my spiritual journey. God uses people to say things. God uses other people in your life. I remember one time, and here's another example that really showed me that how God uses people to say things. I was going through a divorce in my life, and I just thought this was kind of interesting. And I knew there was no coincidence, because I had enough spiritual growth and understanding in my life that I started to see. And so, I mean, this just came out of the blue. And I can't tell you how many people said this. It had to have been 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them. I don't know. But I was going through this divorce at the time, and it was very difficult. It was very stressful, because at that particular time, I owned that packaging and shipping store, and I was working there, so I had the stress of that. I had the stress of everything that was going on within my life, and all that, and the divorce had me very tense. And, and then all of a sudden people started saying, take care of yourself. And then this guy said it, and, the customer came, and he left, and, take care of yourself. And then some other person along the way, take care of yourself. And it wasn't any coincidence, because it was just something that started happening. It was not like, you can't explain that stuff away, right? How like all of a sudden, out of the blue, the tension was getting so high in my life that people started saying, take care of yourself. There was no coincidence, because it happened for a while, and then it actually went away. And when it went away? I'll tell you. So I'm backing out of a parking. I'm not backing out of a parking lot. I'm going out of a parking lot, out of a gas station. I'll never forget this. Driving out of a parking lot, and I go out, and I'm trying to get out to the street to go down the street, and I was a little too far out of the parking lot exit to try to get out of this gas station. I was a little too far out there that I backed up, and when I backed up, I bumped into somebody, because my mind was so distracted and everything, and it was going. And you know what went through my mind, like the marquee and the blackboard and the blackboard and the blackboard? That's right. Take care of yourself. And then it finally registered in my mind that I needed to be consciously aware of taking care of myself. And it was from that point forward that I become to be more cautious and more aware of what was going in my life and what I was doing, and to kind of slow down and to back off, to take care of myself. And, there's that part inside of me that I got to tell you, man, it's so full of gratitude, because it was just one of those spiritual experiences I had of knowing that God uses people to say things and out there to help you. But if by and large, if you don't really have that understanding and you're not having that relationship there, I'd have to say, for the most part, you're gonna just kind of poo-poo it and push it aside and not listen. Because, but if you've got the spiritual awareness, it helps. It helps really. So anyway, that's going to be all for this video. Okay, so we're going to end this one a little bit different. No, we're not. Yeah.